started talking about our cities. Okay. Helen, may I know what you like about your city or what you dislike about your city or your hometown? So which one you want to talk about? What you like, what you dislike?
Yeah. Honestly, I was born and raised in the province with the distance from this city, Ho Chi Minh City, uh, uh, for about 30 kilometers.
Oh,
Yeah. And I stay there with my family, my parents. And when they immigrate to the US, I moved to Ho Chi Minh City to study at the university, and I stay here to start my career, my business. And I have been living in Ho Chi Minh City for from now for 20 years. So I can say that Ho Chi Minh City is my hometown, and I love this city. But in Vietnam we are developed country, so there are a lot of difficulties that we have to face. That is, the city is always crowded, and um, we have faced with the air pollution and noise pollution. Yeah,
of course.
so that is not comfortable at all.
Yeah, of course. So just developing or developed.
Yeah,
First,
developing country.
first. Yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course. So, yeah, of course. I do agree. So it's like, especially traffic, big
yeah,
cities, of course, can be,
right. But
I know, an issue.
the only thing I think the only thing that I think that I love the city because I can live here well with an normal income, and I can live here to raise my children to have a good life. Yeah.
Of
Uh,
course.
I and my family can develop our career and our business here. My
Yeah.
husband too. So yeah, we love this city.
Yeah, of course. And if you had a chance to choose one country to live, just, but when, like, for example, Italy and the US and France and maybe an Asian country like Korea, for example,
Uh,
which one?
yeah.
Which one would you
If I can choose, I would like to choose a city that have temperature is cool, not
ah,
hot like Ho Chi Minh City, and I
mild?
love atmosphere with near to nature, with a
Ah,
lot of tree, a lot of air to breathe. Yeah, and
of
I don't know exactly which country I want to live. Uh, Maybe I just think about the city that I can earn the money good
yeah, of course, you're
and
right.
I can live with the comfortable atmosphere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. I do
So
agree with you. Yeah, of course. So, Freeze, you mentioned not cold, not hot. We say mild,
yeah,
mild weather,
mild,
of
mild
course.
temperature, mild weather.
Let me make it a little bigger so that I can see what I'm typing. Okay, so which better now? Okay, well, yeah, mild weather. Yeah, and fresh air, of course. Like, you can breathe easily. Yeah, I do agree with you. And of course, we need maybe industry and business. So that is really important. Well, okay. And so as you can guess, we're going to talk about our cities and, maybe good point, positive points, negative points about cities. And as you said, so traffic everywhere. I think, we have, except for some countries or some areas, some cities that of course I'm not sure about them. So it's like, everywhere, unfortunately, this has become a really significant issue all around the world. So traffic jam, the number of cars, people on the streets, so every day. Well, so have you ever been to Paris?
Yeah, I've been in Paris one time. I traveled to the Europe,
Yeah,
Paris.
how was that? Tell me
Yeah,
about your experience.
I love that city with amazing landscape, and I love uh, Eiffel Tower. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, of course. Well, just let me say something about being in and being to, because they're different. If you have been in somewhere or if you've been to, so when we say, when you want to talk about, for example, your places that you traveled or you haven't traveled, you say I've been to. So for example, I've been to a location, to talk about places that you've traveled to or you haven't traveled to. So this is about trip and travel. But when we say been in, I've been in location, actually we talk about past action. So you still there. So been in, I lived. So if you haven't lived, so you say I've been to. So because you traveled. So you've been to Paris because you traveled, okay? But you've been somewhere that you lived, okay? For example, yeah, I don't know, for example, for 10 years. Okay, so been and to, that is a difference. Well, so you've been to Paris and tell me, yeah, you traveled to different countries. Tell me which one, maybe, or which city, which country or which city was the best experience. And you, maybe if you want to travel, you travel again. And which one was the worst one? Like, you don't like to go.
Yeah, I've been traveled to some cities uh, all over the world. But the only one city that I love it so much. That is Anaheim City. Yeah, you know that's the city that's where my parents live and my
Ah,
sister
of
live.
course, of
Yeah,
course.
you know, if our family, where is our family live, that is,
Yeah.
uh, yeah,
And
our,
what do you like about it? What do you like about it?
and I love California. I love Anaheim City because they have many landscape and many
Yes.
um, different kind of landscape. You know, they have mountain, they have
Of course.
beaches. Yeah,
Of
they have
course. All of
sea.
them together, of
Yeah,
course.
all together, river and the
Yeah,
mountain. Yeah, of course.
of
the
course. Right.
the Disneyland resort.
Oh, of course. You told me
Yeah,
about and Disneyland.
I just
Of
love
course.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so good reason. Yeah, you're right. So we have different, of course, maybe natural
Yeah.
attractions, and yeah, we have different nature, like yeah,
The
mountain
weather
and
is
beach.
mild weather. It's not
Yeah,
too
of
very hot,
course,
no,
of
not hot,
course.
very hot.
Sometimes it depends, where to live. So it depends, something, of course, in some areas too hot sometimes, and that we don't get snow, but it's not actually everywhere. So it depends. So if
Yeah.
it's close to the mountain, so it's mild weather. So you mean this actually, but that is center, it's but bit hot. Well, and now the first word, metropolis. So the first word of yeah, of course, some cities, it refers to big, maybe the largest or the busiest and the most important city in a country or region, of course. So the largest and the busiest and of course the most important. country. Okay, so tell me about your country. Which city is metropolis, like Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City?
Yeah. I can say that Ho Chi Minh City is a metropolis city with a lot of vehicle and some buildings. Yeah,
Yeah.
with a lot of the population population is large.
Ah, of course, of course, of course, got it. So it's like crowded people, city is, yeah, we can say that. So, and of course, you face traffic because of this. So in every, we can say, metropolis, city or area, we have the problem of traffic. So because, large number of people, overpopulation, and of course, pollution, that is a consequence of population. Well, so one of the challenges that most metropolises in the world are facing is pollution, of course, unfortunately, and they can't maybe deal with this issue. And tell me about nightlife in your city. So, do you have lively nights?
Yeah, Ho Chi Minh City have be busy and uh, very uh, lively with
Lively.
busy night life. Yeah,
Yes.
um, um, some some district they don't sleep. Yeah,
Ah,
for
good.
example, in the district one, uh, we can go to the coffee shop or shopping mall all for all night.
Ah, yeah, so you have lively nightlife. It's like, everyone in the street. So that's really good, of course. And maybe the thing that I like about uh maybe metropolitan or metropolis, so both of them cities, is not life. It's a bit, yeah, I do, or urban life, of course, I do like rural area. That's perfect. So, but maybe for long time, it's like, especially at night, it's a bit, I don't know. We have a word that we say deserted. So let me write. And this is the opposite of not lively. So that is no one on the street at night. Like, no one. So when city, we say deserted. So when it's deserted, a city, we say like, no one, and especially that is the opposite of lively nightlife. So some people in rural area, of course, we have, some, I don't know, areas deserted. It's so empty, so quiet. So do you like, I don't know, a really quiet and not busy without nightlife areas? Just
I
call
can
them peace.
I can say that at my age, I just love the peace. Yeah, with like the rural area.
Of course, of course.
I can live in the rural area because um, I need to live in the city for my kids to go to school and for my job. But but I love the rural
Of
atmosphere.
of course, yeah. I do agree with you. It's like, now you have to because of your work, because of your kids, but your preference, of course, is rural area. I do like it, but I don't know. Sometimes. Okay, public transport. So you know the meaning of this word, the use of this. So tell me about the use of public transport in your country. First of all, what type of public transport is used more by people in your country?
Yeah,
And
Human City, we just have buses. Yeah, bus is public transport in Ho Chi Minh, but I don't think it's a good uh, a good way to try to um, to go to work because mm, you have to stop and you have to manage your direction to go with that kind of transportation. Yeah,
Of
and
course.
we also have thief in the buses. Yeah,
Oh,
so I think it's a good way to go.
of course. I know the problem in public transport everywhere, I think. Yeah, there are thieves everywhere. Yeah, of course. Wow. So you
So
know that. Just,
if you
this time.
want to travel around the city, so I highly recommend you use Grab. It looks like a taxi like Uber in the US. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a kind of uh, transportation. Yeah,
of course. As
a lot of convenient and it's very cheap.
Yeah, of course, it's really, using because, and it can be really helpful to reduce traffic jam, because you know that when all people use their own cars, of course, it's like, cars are packed. So everywhere is really packed, like crowded. So, and people on the street. So I think it's really good to use public transport. But of course, as you said, it's like, if. So you talked about your thieves, and I know it's like, we have pickpocketing.
Yeah.
So you know that's stealing from someone's bag. So pickpocketing, and someone who does. So of course this type pickpocketer and someone who does. Yeah, of course I do agree with you. So it's not really safe. Maybe I think the government should take an action to deal with this issue because it's really good to use. So pickpocketing and pickpocketer, so you can use. Well, and do you have a lot of green space in your city?
Yeah, there are lots of green space in my city.
Ah, of course, and that's really good. So, because unfortunately now there's another problem due to over construction, overbuilding. So we have lack of green space, in, especially in large cities. So, and governments, of course, don't do anything about this. But you
No,
have,
but not very much. Yeah, just some park with green space.
yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, as I told you, it's something related to overbuilding, over construction. So, and we have all around the world. So we have this one. Okay, we have these words. So, do you want to use them?
No, I've
Of course.
already got it.
Yeah, of course. Very good. Just, before I forget, let me write this word. You may need it when talking. That is overbuilding. Okay, well, we're gonna complete people's opinion about the word they leave and use the phrases in brackets to help. So it's like, we're gonna use a word related to these explanations. So, for example, there are lots of beautiful what, like the museums and cathedral. So places like houses with walls. So what? Beautiful.
There are a lot of beautiful buildings.
Of course, very good. Of course, very good. Building can be a good one. And number two, could you please read it?
The um, public transportation system is great. It's really cheap.
Of course, public transport, you don't need to say transportation. It's okay. Of course, it's correct, but it's difficult. Transport. Number three.
is a problem in the morning because there are a lot of traffic jam.
Yeah, of course. And four, people are always very
Very um, very busy and impolite.
I know. Say things like, no, why? Okay, this is really important. Let me give you actually a structure that is really important. That is a grammatical rule. You know that some verbs can be followed by ing and infinitive, so to or ing, both of them. But sometimes the meaning of verb can be changed when following by to or when following by ing. For example, stop talking, for example, or stop to talk. They are different, definitely different. What you said is stop talking. So it means when I stop talking, it means now I'm talking, stop. I don't talk. But when I stop to talk, it means I'm doing something. For example, I don't know, I'm doing something here, I'm writing or I'm talking on the phone, and then I stop it to talk to you because you are important. So the first one, stop talking. I don't want to talk to you. Stop to talk. I want to talk to you. So they are definitely different. Here, people stop to talk. So they stop, they listen, talk to you. They say things like, thank you, please. They're really friendly. So friendly and polite, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is different. And we have all the verbs. So if we have time, of course, I would talk about them because we have some verbs that yeah, of course, and you need to know. So here, yeah,
Yeah.
of course, it's
Okay.
different from stop talking.
Always
Yeah,
and and polite.
friendly and polite. And number five,
Yeah, the thing I like best is the parks. There are a lot of green space where you can go for work or sit and enjoy the view.
of course, very good. And the problem is that there's a lot of
One is that there are a lot of
illegal activity.
pickpocketer.
So because just let me say,
That's
pickpocketer
a
is
noun.
someone, first of all, pickpocketing or pickpocket. So
Pocketing.
this is the action. Pocketer is someone. But
Yeah.
when it's illegal, of course, pickpocketing is illegal activity, but it's better to say crime because we refer to general crime. So so it's crime.
Right. Yeah.
This is one of them. So it can be anything, okay?
Yeah.
Shoplifting, pickpocketing, so. And seven is an industrial city, so.
It is very um, pollu pollution. No, not polluted.
Polluted, of course. Polluted, of course. Polluted city. So this is adjective. Pollution is noun, of course. Well, and uh,
The eight. I don't like going into the city because it's very crowded.
yeah, of course, is very crowded. And the
It
next
has
one.
great um, a great lively nightlife.
Yeah, of course. And
And I like it where I live. The streets are um, um, peace uh, and
no rubbish or crime. So this and this.
Clean.
Clean and crime, safe.
Safe.
Safe, clean and safe, of course you can say, yeah. Well, just here, we have two words. The first one, polluted. Of course, it's really good word, widely used. We say polluted. But if you heard filthy, very dirty. You hear somewhere, so that is filthy, we also use. And very crowded, very, not crowded, very crowded, that is packed. So these two words that you can use. Okay. Well, hustle and bustle. So of course, so it's like, you know that crowd and noise. So it's hustling, it's noisy, bustling. So it's crowded. So why do you think some people like, some people don't like? Of course, it's not your thing. So tell me, why do you think people move from urban areas to rural life and rural area?
Yeah, just for earning for life. Yeah.
But from urban to rural.
Oh, urban to rural. Yeah, maybe when we are retired, we tend to move from urban to rural areas to live.
Of course, of course. Well, so it's like, maybe they want to run away of this hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, of course. Well, and just this idiom, so that is uncountable, so we don't have plural form of it. And so hustle, again, like, large amount of activity and noisy places. So it's really good, yeah. But some people like, so some people like the hustle and bustle of big cities. Some people like. Well, okay, and what I like, what I dislike. So this structure. So it's really easy to use it, and what I like, for example, about something about you is after is you can use a noun or noun phrase. For example, what I like about you is your smile. Okay, so noun phrase or noun. Or you can use like, for example, a complete sentence. So what is that? What I like about, for example, your country is that your country is really green. For example, it has a lot of green space. So this way you can use. So we have two ways. If you want to use a noun or noun phrase, you don't need to use that. So just, for example, what I like, or what I dislike about somewhere is, for example, green space, is people, is traffic jam. What I like or dislike about somewhere, that is that, now a complete, is that, for example, it's really crowded. The traffic is heavy. So this way you can talk about, for example, different cities, what you like, what you dislike. So it's your choice. If you want to use a noun or noun phrase, if you want to use a complete sentence, okay? Just when using a complete, when you want to put a full sentence, because again, you have subject, actually that is a break. That and again, your sentence. Okay, now I want to talk about maybe cities, countries, and use these two structures, what I like or what I dislike. Okay, so tell me, what city, what you like, what you dislike?
Yeah, what I like about Ho Chi Minh cities is the people here is friendly and nice. And what I dislike about this city is the, the 50 50 street.
Of course, very good. Of course, very good. Well, so is that people are friendly and you're welcoming. So you can say is, if you want to use a noun, hospitality. So hospitality means being friendly and welcoming. So I like hospitality. So this one.
Hospitality.
To people, for example, especially to tourists. So you can use it. Okay. And so this is a noun that you can use. Okay. And if you want to use a full sentence and you need an adjective, you can say that, for example, what I like about my city is that people are hospitable. Hospitable is adjective. Hospitality is a noun. So if you want to use an adjective, hospitable, friendly. So you can use these two. This one noun, this one adjective. Okay? Well. And what you dislike, of course, filthy street, yeah, and traffic. You can say, for example, packed streets, very crowded. So, especially rush hours, yeah, rush hours, you can say packed street. Well, so this is about the structure. Do you have any questions about the structure? Is that clear?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, of course. Well, okay, we have an audio, so we're going to listen to 4 people talking about different cities in the world. First of all, which city has these things? Okay, and now you can check and then we will listen. So let me, okay, 17. Let's listen. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Unit 10. Society. Recording 1. 1.
Rick, you've lived in Dubai for, what, 4 years, right?
Yeah, 4 years.
So what's it like living in Dubai?
Well, I read that Dubai is one of the world's fastest growing cities, so there are a lot of people, and it's very crowded. It's a great city for shopping and going out, and it has a really good nightlife with lots of bars and clubs.
Is it a safe city?
Yes, there isn't a lot of crime. The streets are very safe. But one of the biggest problems is the traffic. Everyone drives a car here. Petrol is still cheap, so the traffic's terrible. One good thing is the taxis, though. There are lots of them, and they're cheap, so you don't have to drive.
2.
Sasha, you live in Tokyo, don't you?
That's right.
And do you like it? Do you like living in Tokyo?
Yeah, Tokyo is a great city to live in. People think it's very expensive, but actually you can buy Japanese food in the supermarkets quite cheaply, and eating out in Japanese restaurants isn't expensive either.
How about getting around? What's the public transport like?
There's a really good public transport system here. The metro system is fantastic. It's very fast and it's cheap, so lots of people use it. That's the only problem. It gets very crowded.
And what do you like best about living in Tokyo?
Oh, the food, definitely. I love Japanese food. And the green spaces. There are lots of parks and green spaces, so it's less polluted than you think.
3.
What about Sydney? What's Sydney like, Charlie?
Sydney is one of the best cities in the world. There are lots of young, friendly people living here, so there's a really good atmosphere. The streets are clean and safe, and there are lots of things to see and do. There are beautiful buildings like the Opera House. You can sit and watch the boats on the harbour. And it has one of the most beautiful coastlines in the world.
What's the weather like? Is it really hot?
The weather is perfect. It's never too hot and never too cold. You can eat outside all year round, so there's a great cafe culture, with lots of places on the street selling really good coffee.
So are there any problems?
Problems? Not really. Traffic, I suppose. Too much traffic and a terrible public transport system.
Well, perfect weather.
Yeah. Perfect weather is Sydney,
Very good.
and it also have cheap restaurants selling local food.
Yeah, fast and so cheap restaurant and yeah, 5 of course. But are you sure Sydney cheap restaurant? How about Japan? Like I heard something
And
else.
it's number 2. It's Tokyo.
Yeah,
Has fast, cheap public transport.
of course. And number 3, cafes where you can sit outside.
Uh, I don't remember it clearly.
Yeah, well, we can guess, of course, perfect weather. So maybe Sydney, yeah, because of perfect weather. So, and 4, good shops.
Is Dubai has
Dubai.
good shop and nightclubs.
Yeah, and 5, cheap restaurants selling local food. It's like
Yeah.
Tokyo.
Sydney, Tokyo.
Maybe it's not bad to listen again, but we need to check. So I think it's not Sydney because I heard like, about Tokyo. I'm not sure, but lots of cheap taxes. Number 6.
Yeah. Number 6 is Sydney too.
I'm not sure. And number 7.
Um, I don't remember.
It's one
No,
city.
I think one session is for one city, but I don't hear it clearly.
Okay, so let's listen again. It's not bad to check. Why not? So let's listen again.
Unit 10. Society. Recording 1. 1.
Rick, you've lived in Dubai for, 4 years, right?
Yeah, 4 years.
So what's it like living in Dubai?
Well, I read that Dubai is one of the world's fastest growing cities, so there are a lot of people, and it's very crowded. It's a great city for shopping and going out, and it has a really good nightlife with lots of bars and clubs.
Is it a safe city?
Yes, there isn't a lot of crime. The streets are very safe. But one of the biggest problems is the traffic. Everyone drives a car here. Petrol is still cheap, so the traffic's terrible. One good thing is the taxis, though. There are lots of them, and they're cheap, so you don't have to drive.
So cheap taxes,
2.
Dubai.
Yeah,
Sasha,
Dubai.
you live in Tokyo, don't you?
That's right.
And do you like it? Do you like living in Tokyo?
Yeah, Tokyo is a great city to live in. People think it's very expensive, but actually you can buy Japanese food in the supermarkets quite cheaply, and eating out in Japanese restaurants isn't expensive either.
So
How
cheap
about getting around? What's the public transport like?
There's a really good public transport system here. The metro system is fantastic. It's very fast and it's cheap, so lots of people use it. That's the only problem. It gets very crowded.
And what do you like best about living in Tokyo?
Oh, the food, definitely. I love Japanese food. And the green spaces. There are lots of parks and green spaces, so it's less polluted than you think.
3.
cheap restaurants.
What about Sydney?
And
What's Sydney like, Charlie?
Sydney is one of the best cities in the world. There are lots of young, friendly people living here, so there's a really good atmosphere. The streets are clean and safe, and there are lots of things to see and do. There are beautiful buildings like the Opera House. You can sit and watch the boats on the harbour. And it has one of the most beautiful coastlines in the world.
What's the weather like? Is it really hot?
The weather is perfect. It's never too hot and never too cold. You can eat outside all year round, so there's a great cafe culture, with lots of places on the street selling really good coffee.
So are there any problems?
Problems? Not really. Traffic, I suppose. Too much traffic and a terrible public transport system.
So,
Yeah.
so we need to change. Yeah.
Yeah. Dubai is has a huge shop and nightclub with and sick a lot of cheap taxis and a terrible public transport system.
It was Sydney. Terrible public transport was Sydney.
Sydney.
Yeah, of course. The last one was Sydney. Yeah, but perfect. Yeah, of course. But perfect weather and cheap restaurant, Tokyo, right? And the best
That's right.
public transport.
Tokyo. That's Tokyo.
Yeah.
And Tokyo has 5 cheap public transport. Number 2.
Yeah. Of course, fast, cheap public transport. So everything is good in Tokyo. I think it's not bad to live in Tokyo. Yeah. Well,
Right.
okay.
And Sydney is number 3, a cafe where you can
Right.
outside with the perfect weather. And number 7, a terrible
Terrible.
public transport
Of
system.
course. Yeah, of course. So I do agree. So it's like cafes where you can sit outside, perfect better, but terrible public transport. Okay. Well, and now, so describe. So actually, I want to ask you this question, but I have another question. So because we talked about your city, so I want to ask you about another city. So for example, New York. Okay. So do you like to live in cities like New York?
Yeah, I've never been to New York before, but if I can choose, I wish I can live in New York because it's a very bustling city.
Very, of course, because
With a
of this, I asked you.
of
Yeah.
high building. Yeah.
Because this, I ask you because New York is fast-paced, a kind of robotic city. People moving so fast. When a place, a city is fast-paced, robotic, that means people move so fast. They don't have any expression, like, just like robots.
Yeah.
So because of this, I ask you if you like to leave. So, and of course, high buildings like skyscrapers. Yeah, skyscrapers. So you can say, of course, modern, but of course, it's really, as you said, busy, crowded, and because you don't like. Well,
that New York has a beautiful autumn. Yeah, beautiful.
fall. Yeah, it's but we say fall, British say autumn. Both are correct. So it's your choice which one. So we understand, of course, but it's your choice. We say fall, they say autumn. So one word that is a bit different. Okay, well, yeah, of course. And yeah, beautiful fall. Actually every season can be really beautiful, but especially but New York, yeah, of course, really beautiful. And I do like London, as I was like, I don't know why, but it's like really beautiful. Well, and describe the most crowded. So that is Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City. Which one is the most crowded city?
I think Ho Chi Minh City is the most crowded city.
Yeah, the most crowded city. And so of course you don't like, we talked about this one. So I'm going to ask you another question because you answered you already. Okay. Well, and tell me, which city have you been to recently? Just
Um, you know, last summer, I and my family traveled to China. You know, China in yeah, uh, Zhejiang province. Yeah,
Ah,
and that is a nice place with uh, warm weather, but the public transportation is very good with the MRT. Yeah, but
yeah.
they have terrible um, uh, toiletry. Yeah,
Ah, oh,
terrible.
what?
Yeah,
Toiletries? Terrible
yeah,
toiletries?
yeah,
Wow.
toiletry. Because uh, we just can go to the toilet with um, the very old fashioned toiletry. And
Ah,
some toilet they don't even have the door, you know.
oh,
They
oh.
don't have
Open,
the
yeah, they're
door.
really open. I
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
tell
right.
me, you can go.
I was shocked. I was shocked. And uh, and I go there one time and never come back.
So for men it's normal because we also have some, of course, some restrooms for men. It's okay, but for everyone, of
Yeah,
course, yeah,
so
you
I
need
was
to have some.
shocked, really, really shocked.
Yeah,
And I go to the mountain area. Yeah, that's
yeah. How about food? Did you like the food?
food is with a lot of oil. Man,
Oh,
every dishes with a lot of oil, and I can't eat. Yeah,
ah,
and
well,
it's too spicy too.
why I thought that Chinese eat really healthy food.
Yeah,
Why?
you when you go to the big city like
Uh,
Shanghai or uh, yeah, or yeah, something like that.
yeah,
That's really really good. But when you go to the rural area, that's
of course,
yeah,
totally
yeah,
different. Of course. Yeah. So it was not totally, it was not good experience, I think.
yeah. And my aspire to you that will never come that to that.
Yeah, of course, never. Yeah, of course. And how about people? Because Chinese are a bit different. So I think, because as I told you, I have some students. So they are a bit different. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't talk English or any language. They just talk their mother language.
Yeah, of
So yeah,
course.
you can um, talk or commute, uh,
Communicate.
communicate by with the translator. Yeah,
Ah,
you can
of
talk with them in English.
course. Of course. Maybe it's about rural life or rural area, maybe countryside. In
Yeah,
big cities,
right.
maybe they're different. Yeah. Yeah. So it was not a good experience for you. So never do this again. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So tell me about countryside in your country. So tell me about the areas of the countryside, of course, that have changed since you were a child. First of all, let me ask you if the countryside and areas of the countryside have changed during the time since you were a child, or no? There
Yeah,
is.
it changed a lot. Yeah, my countryside is developed and it changed almost everything from the street, the houses, and the population. Yeah, everything will change.
Yeah, of course. And is it true that young people don't tend to stay in countryside anymore?
Yeah,
They, yeah.
I know that um, young people they uh, tend to go far away from the countryside to live in the big city.
Of
So
course.
at the harvest time,
Yeah.
agriculture, they don't have any workforce to collect the farm. Yeah.
Of course, of course. And about, so first of all, have you ever been to Singapore?
Yeah, I've been in Singapore for more than 10 years.
So tell me about, so because first of all, yeah, I have a question. Singapore is country or city?
You can call it like a country, but um, the the population and the large the it's just like a big city, just like a city.
Let me, one country, one city?
Yeah, one country, one city. It's very small. Yeah.
But I heard that's beautiful,
yeah.
really beautiful.
Yeah, it's very clean and safe, very safe. Yeah.
Safe and clean. And
Safe.
tell me, we have two cities. So which one? So tell me, what do you think? Of course, you answered this question. So you like to live with your parents. So of course,
that's right.
of course. So we're not gonna talk about this. But I want to ask another question, maybe the most important. Actually, I want to ask you if you think that actually, I don't know, visits to the countryside should be something that schools offer to their children. So do you find it helpful?
I find that I love to live in a better education or healthcare for myself and for my kids and my family too.
So you think it's better to be actually offered at school so that maybe people, it's like, get it more serious, like it's okay, let's take children to the countryside to see actually rural life. Do you think it's important?
I think it's very important for the children to that they can understand the living. Yeah, many types of living.
Yeah, of course, maybe this way, actually, it's really a good way for them to appreciate nature.
Yeah. Right.
And I think it's really helpful and it can help them to meet their roots. Because that, so it's like our roots, countryside and rural life. So I think human being. So it's like, it's a good opportunity. So first of all, to appreciate nature, and the second one, to help them to meet their roots. So it's really important. And so tell me about the last question. What challenges big cities are currently facing, actually, except for traffic that we know?
That's the I find that that's the economic inequality.
Inequality, of
The gap
course.
between the rich and the poor people. Yeah,
Of course.
it's very far distant from them.
Yeah, of course, of course. We have some, yeah, I do, like, some deprived areas, no facilities, nothing. So of course we have some rich, wealthy, and at the same time we have the really poor, like deprived areas without any facilities, very poor people. And it's like, yeah, as you said, I do agree with you. Well, okay, so we talked about this topic in detail, and if you have any questions, now it's your turn to ask.
No.
Okay, my dear Helen. So that's it, another session, another topic, and again, have a great week, fruitful, of course, really fruitful, with good news.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome,
Yes,
my dear.
yeah, have a wonderful week.
Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye, teacher.
Bye.